Alright guys, so let's talk about the basic parts of a neuron. So here we have a basic diagram or drawing of a neuron, and let's just go through the different parts that you might want to know. So first up, we have these little sort of like tentacle looking things at the front of our neuron. These are going to be called our dendrites. So dendrites. These are the parts of a neuron that will receive information from other neurons. So the information passes from other neurons, and this is how the neuron will receive that information. It's going to receive them through what are known as the dendrites, these tentacle-looking things. Next, we have here this part of our cell or neuron. Remember, neurons are also cells, so they have a cell body. Cell body, and you might also hear this referred to as a soma. So the soma, or our cell body of our cell, is what contains our nucleus. And remember, nucleuses are in every living cell, and so our neurons are also cells. So this is our nucleus that we have here, and that is located inside the cell body or our soma. Next, we have here our axon. So the axon of a neuron is this really long tail that extends from the cell body. So the information travels from the dendrites, it's going through here and down our axon. And the axon, again, is this really long tail that is part of our neuron. Now, on the axon, you might find what is known as a myelin sheath. So myelin sheath. These are deposits of fatty substances like lipids, and it's made up of proteins as well, that help speed up communication along our axon. So remember, the information is traveling from our dendrites along the axon, and then these myelin sheaths, which are made of myelin, located along the tail of the axon, help speed up this neural communication system. And now, who makes the myelin sheaths for our neurons? So in our CNS, we have cells that are called oligodendrocytes. So oligodendrocytes make up the myelin sheath for neurons in our central nervous system. Whereas if you're working in the peripheral nervous system, remember that the cells that make up those myelin sheaths are going to be called schwann cells. So if you're in the CNS or central nervous system, the cells that make up the myelin sheath are oligodendrocytes. In the peripheral nervous system, those are called schwann cells. So that's what this is right here. Cells that make up the myelin sheath along the axon of our neuron. And then in between, you see here, in between the myelin sheath, there are areas where there are no myelin, and those are called nodes of ranvier. So nodes of ranvier. And those are basically just areas that are defined as the area between the myelin sheath, where there is no myelin, so the connection is not sped up in those areas. So this is the basic idea of the parts of our neuron in this diagram that we see here. So the information will go from our dendrites along our axon, which may or may not have myelin sheaths that are made from different kind of cells. So the oligodendrocytes and schwann cells. In between the myelin sheath are these areas called nodes of ranvier. And remember, because all neurons are also cells, all cells are living, and they must have a nucleus. And then we also have what is contained, or what contains nucleus, our cell body, and also called the soma. So that's just a basic overview over the different parts of a neuron that you might see on your test.